actions, it was a very well orchestrated move. We don't take it lightly, we don't take it kindly. We have now come back to where we were when demonstrations were misused. We have asked our young people, wherever they are doing these kind of demonstrations, they should identify and isolate those people they seem or they deem are not part of the demonstrations, but are part of a wider group to give mayhem in this country. Not only in Nairobi, I have said throughout the country. And as we call upon the security officers and the security agents to do their work to protect the lives and property, we are here again where we left to tell them that we are not going to allow people or groups organized to come and joke with our businesses. We are now out again to protect our interest and the interest of our stakeholders. We cannot see young men fighting corruption and then we see some other groups coming to kill our economy at Gekomba, Nyamakema, and other areas. And they have a strategy as if they are rooting for one group or area. We want to believe that what we are seeing in social media, these operations have got a backup somewhere. Somewhere. If we follow the social media, there is a backup somewhere. Because I don't understand how you can tell me my son, who is a Gen Z, can think of bringing coffins in town. I mean, how? How does my daughter break a supermarket downtown? Maybe even some of them, they don't know downtown. Am I right? Yes. They don't even know downtown. And even as we speak today, there was no mandamano from those young men who went downtown. They were in the middle of the city CBD. So as I have said, they have looked at the areas where they can do all those kind of mannerless issues. And we are telling them, Nairobi business community is back. Yes. Whether they like it, it is us, it is now them versus us. Otherwise, we are here only to protect our businesses. Yes. We won't allow them again.
And amid escalating nationwide protests claiming over 39 lives, the Senate has today issued a 7-listed ultimatum to various institutions, including the government, demanding immediate action to quell the nation. The key demands include a speeding up of the review of the presidential memorandum, adopting austerity measures across the government, ramped up anti-corruption efforts, police reforms, release of detained demonstrators, financial support for victims, and judicial expediency. Let's cross over live and listen in to the ongoing proceedings at the Senate.
Living within our means is not an option anymore. And I believe that when our colleagues reconvene in the National Assembly, they'll be guiding us in that particular. But I have to be specific and say, because in the first instance, the distribution to counties was not pro rata, then the shave, I don't know what is being proposed, and we will wish to be reasoned, but it cannot be pro rata to counties, Mr. Speaker. We must, at the very least, I know it's not in my place, but at the very least, Mr. Speaker, counties should not get less than what they got last year. At the very least, Mr. Speaker, I know it's difficult, but somehow, somewhere, we must protect. Though, members, I don't know if you follow this conversation, even in our own county level, people have become more critical in budget-making process. And they are beginning to ask our county governors, can you lay out your budget in public so that we see also where is your confidential vote, like there was. You know, there are many budget lines that people don't follow. But now people are becoming more alive to reality of the budget-making process in our counties. And we'll speak later. I'm sure when colleagues speak, they will get time. I cannot say everything. To say on also the architecture of devolution, whether as is presently moving, Mr. Speaker, whether it can work. You know, Mr. Speaker, you are governor. Between 2013 and 2017, many young people, women, and the vulnerable made a life out of doing business with counties. And there was spread of resources within. You know, in every village, you could see a young person and you'd be told so and so. He's a road contractor, he supplies this and the other. He trades with the county, and therefore, people could begin to appreciate. These are things that were completely unknown to the country before the promulgation of a new constitution. Post-2017, there are no such people in our villages, Mr. Speaker. In fact, I have said on the floor of this House many times that unless the governor is your personal friend, or sometimes even unless he's your father, nobody can dare supply to our counties anymore. Nobody.
Now to the international front, U.S. President Joe Biden has blamed his poor debate performance last week on jet lag, telling reporters that he wasn't very smart for traveling around the world a couple of times before the debate. Biden also spoke out against Monday's Supreme Court decision, giving former president immunity from prosecution for actions falling within the official job duties. The ruling doesn't dismiss former President Donald Trump's 2020 election interference case, but does delay it.
Donald Trump and Joe Biden were back on the campaign trail after last week's first debate, with Biden looking to reassure supporters that he's ready for a second term, following an at times halting debate performance.
I give you my word as a Biden, I would not be running again if I didn't believe with all my heart and soul I can do this job. Because quite frankly, the stakes are too high.
Biden fundraising over the weekend was another chance for his campaign to push back against concern among some in the Democratic Party that his debate stumbles mean they should be looking for a new candidate.
If there were a new, vigorous, younger Democratic nominee, I think people would take that opportunity in a minute to keep Trump out.
Trump said the debate showed this election is a choice between strength and weakness.
The question every voter should be asking themselves today is not whether Joe Biden can survive a 90-minute debate performance, but whether America can survive 4 more years of crooked Joe Biden in the White House.
Trump told a post-debate rally that he believes Biden will stay in the race.
Many people are saying that after last night's performance that Joe Biden is leaving the race. But the fact is, I don't really believe that, because he does better in polls than any of the Democrats they're talking about.
Among the Democrats who some in their party are talking about possibly replacing Biden are his running mate, Vice President Kamala Harris, Governor of the key swing state of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer, California Governor Gavin Newsom, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear, and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. None of those Democrats is calling for replacing Biden. Switching candidates before their party's August convention would require Biden dropping out.
They would have to go to the White House and try to convince him, and he will be tough to convince. And they'll also have to try to convince Joe Biden, and that may be even tougher.
The First Lady told a post-debate rally that her husband showed he's America's best choice.
What you saw last night on the debate stage was Joe Biden, a president with integrity and character, who told the truth. And Donald Trump told lie after lie after lie.
Early post-debate polling by CBS News shows most Democrats believe Biden should still be their nominee. It's the political parties' conventions that will have greater impacts with voters than debates, says Marquette University political science professor Julia Azari.
The sort of state-of-the-art research in political science about what sorts of events seem to drive vote intent and become increasingly sort of predictive of how people will vote in November. The conventions matter, but debates don't.
The Biden campaign held a post-debate conference call with Democratic National Committee members about the coming convention. Some committee members on the call told the Associated Press that it was an overly rosy assessment of Biden's path to re-election and largely ignored criticism of his debate performance.
Well, and with that, we've come to the end of K24 Newscast. Many thanks for keeping me company. My name is Bentura Komboka, and our sign language interpreter this hour has been Walter. So do have yourself a lovely afternoon.